All right, what up, Who That Nation? This is No Cap, No Filter Saints. I'm your host, Marley G. And I'm going to go ahead on and give my game preview of the Saints versus the Patriots, Week 5. Saints head up to New England to face the Patriots and Bill Belichick, Week 5. We don't know if it's going to be Mac Jones or if it's going to be Bailey Zappi. I think Bill has said already on an interview that he's going to stick with Jones, but you can't just be too sure about that because last year, they made the switch to Bailey Zappi. But no matter who we play, I feel like we should be able to win this game. Now, Mac Jones, he more, stand in the pocket, try to carve you alive from the pocket, but he can also make plays with his feet if given a chance. He's way more athletic than people give him credit for. Bailey, he kind of provide that spark. Like, he's that backup that come in and, he's not all that good, talent-wise, but he can also just provide that spark, like that he just got that little swag and that moxie about him, kind of like how Taylor Heineke was for the Washington Commanders. So you got to watch him if he was to start, and there's less film on Bailey Zappi than we got on Mac Jones, so that'll be another thing too. The Saints defense, when we go against the quarterback with a little bit of film, it just give us fits for some odd reason. But both of these guys are athletic and can make plays up out the pocket and scramble, and that's what we've been having a hard time with this season with our defensive line. Our defensive line pass rush has not been getting home like I hoped for. That was one of my biggest concerns coming into the season. Turns out the offensive line is the biggest concern now. But at the end of the day, these defensive line concerns are starting to raise ugly head. I never felt like Cam was going to just, have a monster season sack-wise. I was hoping that Carl could. He's kind of doing this thing, but ever since he got paid, he's not living up to expectation. But he is giving effort, and that's one thing I could, respect about a player. As long as you give effort. Like, I don't care if, it don't reflect on a stat sheet. Just give the effort. Like, let me see you out there trying to play your heart out. Like let me see you at least, giving energy and giving it your all. Unlike what Chris Olave did. But I'm gonna give Chris Olave a pass. He's a rookie. This is probably this was his first game that he ever just been shut out like he's been shut out. And it's mainly due to the play calling. And when you're a player and you got gifted abilities and you want to showcase it, this is just heartbreaking when you just are being misused. And it's like human nature to just get frustrated. And when you get frustrated, you tend to, do things that's out your character. So I'm gonna give Chris a pass for this. Another thing, Matt Judon, he's gonna be out for sure. He's had like a bicep injury, so he's not playing for sure. They got their cornerback Christian Gonzalez. He's not playing for sure. He had dislocated his shoulder. I thought he was gonna be able to play, but he's for sure not playing. So with that being said, they two best, defensive players. Well, Matt Judon for sure, their best defensive player, and Christian Gonzalez, he was on the rise. But without their cornerback in the backfield playing, without their pass rusher who had 15.5 sacks last year, I would hope that our offense could take advantage of that. Now, we said this with Green Bay with all their injuries. So with our offensive coordinator and with our head coach, I'm not being too, eager on anything special to get cooked up by the Saints, because these dudes they just too conservative and they just idiots to me. Like, both of them are just, out of position. Like, Dennis Allen is a good defensive coordinator, and Pete Carmichael, he's a good game planner. Like, he can plan you a game, but he can't play call the game. Like, he doesn't know situational football. Like, he doesn't know Giving the ball to the hot hand. He doesn't know how to scheme guys open. He doesn't know how to make calls within the flow of the game and just could tell, like, okay, well, this not working. Let me go here. We're not running the ball as much. Let me get back to the ground game. I mean, the man was giving reverse handoffs to Derek Carr with Derek Carr's shoulder injury, like against one of the best linebacking duels in the whole National Football League. Like, these guys gonna sniff that out, even if it was Taysom. So, what you think they're gonna sniff out if it's Derek Carr doing it? Like, come on, man. Like, situational football is key. Like, knowing what to do in these moments are key. Like, teams know what we're gonna do before we even do it, and it don't really matter the talent that we got on the field if they know what we're gonna do. If that's the case, when nobody stopped the offense, and they got a boatload of talent on their offense. But if the defense could kind of know what they're going to do before snap, more often than none, the defense is going to win that snap every time. You know, it's mainly just when teams have pass breakdowns, or, you know, when the offense just make a good play, you know, just make a damn good play, you know, that they could just really have success like that. But more often than none, when the defense know what you're going to do, they're going to have the upper hand and they're going to be able to stop it. So I think that the best thing that the Saints could do is just, you know, have Ronald Curry call plays. And at least if Ronald Curry call plays, whatever film game planning that teams are doing on us, it wouldn't really just matter, because we're switching the play caller. You know, all the stuff that they seen and our tendencies from Pete, when it goes to Ronald, okay, now the defensive coordinator has to have a whole new game plan. And I think that'll be best, because we're not going to get Gruden, ladies and gentlemen. Like, if you're hoping for Gruden, or if you're hoping for some outside source to come and save us, that's not going to happen. Teams tend to never do that in the middle of the season. They hire from within. So our best bet is Ronald Curry. And another thing, it might not be important, but it might be important. Ronald Curry played quarterback and played wide receiver in the National Football League. I doubt Pete Carmichael ever played any sports. He probably ain't even played Pop Warner. He just looked like he always held a clipboard. So take that for what you will, you know. Another thing, I feel like we're getting healthy. I think Ruiz should be back. I think Jawan Johnson should be back. So that should be help on the offensive line. That should be help in the tight ends room. Maybe Foster will be back. So I think we're going to get healthy at the right time. Debo, he should be back. And I think this May last game for suspension that he has to serve. It's either this game or next game will be his last one. Because we need a Debo and we need May. As good as Yadam has been playing, I feel like, yes, he's been sticking on defenders like glue. He's been right there with them, but he face guards way too much. And he doesn't know when the pass is coming. A lot of these passes that are getting caught on him are just good throws and good catches, but at the same time, you got to have your head turned. Like, I just can't stand when a defender do not have their head turned. So with that being said, you know, once Debo get back, I feel like everything will be back to, you know, normal programming. You know, Debo, he get flags here and there, but when it comes to coverage, his coverage is just way more sound. Hopefully Lonnie Johnson could come back this game. He suffered an injury as well, but yeah, man, because I feel like Lonnie, he was doing good in the safety role. Like, he had a pick versus Green Bay. He dropped a pick versus the Bucks. I think if he'd have caught that pick, that'd have been real game changing. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Lonnie. So hopefully he could come back too. So we getting some people back. We getting some reinforcements. The Patriots, you know, they got Bill Belichick. We got Dennis Allen. Both of these guys are real defensive head coaches. Bill, of course, he had more success than Dennis Allen. But now Bill is dealing with, you know, quarterback purgatory right now, you know. Like, that's the same shit that I think that Sean Payton ran from, you know. Like, having a good Hall of Fame coach having a good Hall of Fame quarterback all them years, and now you got to go, play somebody from the draft. Like, I think Sean Payton probably kind of ran from that. But who knows? But and I don't like when people say, "Oh man, the Saints are a bad team." Like, I don't think the team is bad. I just think the leadership is bad. The head coach is bad. The offensive coordinator is bad. And when they're bad, it kind of sprinkles on down to the team. And they say you are what you are. You're 2-2. And, at the end of the day, that's a 500 team, which, when you got expectations to be 4-0 or 3-1, that's kind of bad. But that's just like saying the Bengals are bad. Like sometimes you got a good team. It's just reasons that you could point out, logically speaking, why your team is bad. Like, we know Joe Burrow is hurt. We know this is bad leadership from Pete Carmichael. This is bad leadership from Dennis Allen. And I feel like the best thing that can happen is just Pete Carmichael gets, demoted, or he just gets relieved of his play calling duties, and Ronald Curry could come in and at the end, and then just let Dennis Allen finish out the season. I don't believe in bringing in a whole different head coach in the middle of the season. Like, just let Dennis Allen finish out the season, and then hopefully we could just get a new head coach. He could come with his staff. He come with his philosophy. He come with his quarterback that he wants to handpick, and hopefully that quarterback can, battle it out with Derek Carr in the offseason. Oh, he could just sit behind Derek Carr for 1 year. Like, I'm not against letting a rookie quarterback sit behind the veteran for 1 year. Look how things turned out for Love. Look how things turned out for Mahomes. Like, I'm not against that. And there's going to be a real deep quarterback draft. So if we get another head coach in the offseason, that'd probably be the best thing that could happen. He could just bring in his staff, bring in his guys, and get his quarterback, and we see how that marriage go. It's working out for Texans right now, I can tell you that. And that's what we play after the Patriots. So I feel like, sure, that could be the best thing that can happen for us. The only thing about it, when a new guy comes in and he brings his philosophy, that means he could get rid of some of the old guys that's there. And sometimes that could be bad, because we might see guys like Michael Thomas gone. We might see guys like Alvin Kamara gone. We might see guys like Taysom Hill gone. It just all depends on what that new coach viewpoint is. But I feel like when it comes to the skill positions, our defense should definitely don't give up a lot of points versus the Patriots. Like, we should definitely hold them under 20. And with their, cornerback and their pass rusher out, we should definitely get over 20 on them. Like, even if Bill Belichick is a good defensive mind and he could take away your best weapon, like, we still have multiple weapons. All we need is a competent offensive coordinator and a competent head coach. That's all we need. And if Ronald Curry come in, just like Lance Moore said, as long as the terminology is the same, it won't really, make that much of a difference, because it's the same playbook. It's just we got to get better play calling, and we got to get better route designs to open up these players. Like, I think that's all we need to, just to do better. That's it. Like, it's not really much. Like I said, on defense, I do believe we need another pass rusher. Like, the pass rusher is like the only thing that's really hurting us on defense, and I think a lot of that got to do with the secondary being kind of banged up right now, and I think a lot of that got to do with we probably just missing Peyton Turner. But even when Peyton Turner was out, when we had the secondary right, when Adebo was in there, when Marcus May was in there, we was getting pass rush, but we was getting coverage sacks. So, but then that probably got something to do with the quarterback. Like, we was playing Ryan Tannehill at first. We was playing Bryce Young at first. So, I don't know. At the end of the day, I feel like these guys that's going to come back are going to make a difference. And my game prediction, I think it's going to be another very low-scoring game. I think this game could be 20 to maybe 10. But I want to beat this team in convincing fashion. I don't want to get up out of there by the hell our ass. Like, I want to beat this team in convincing fashion. I was supposed to go to the Texans game. But if we don't beat this team, the Patriots, in convincing fashion, I'm not going to the Texans game. Like, these people is not getting my money and my time. But let me know what you guys think down below, man. I feel like we should beat this team by 14 to 17 points to really right the ship. If not, it's going to just be a long season, and it's all on Dennis Allen.